Look, man, I hate to break it to you, but all your favorite quote-unquote alpha male influencers are still stuck in the matrix. Yes, sir, let me say that again. All your favorite quote-unquote alpha male influencers, red pill influencers, the most masculine guys out there that you see on social media are still stuck in the matrix. Yet they're trying to tell you, they're trying to sell you some type of information, some type of knowledge, some type of wisdom about how to get women, how to get money, and most importantly, how to get out of the matrix. But funny enough, they've gotten out of one matrix just to plug themselves into a whole nother different type of matrix. So without further ado, let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Now, you've 100% already seen all these guys, the top G's, the middle G's, the bottom G's, the lower G's, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G guys, you know what I mean? All these red pill influencers, all these alpha male guys on social media trying to tell you, okay, man, these are the 5 best ways to get girls. This is the X things that you have to do to get money. This is how you get out of the matrix, blah, 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 blah. And like, I'm not trying to say they're evil people or everything they say is bad, but what I'm telling you is that a true masculine man is one who is completely out of the matrix. One who has completely transcended above the matrix. Not even just out of the matrix, but transcended above it. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yet these type of guys, they claim that if you follow their word, if you follow their kind of advice, you'll get out of the matrix. But funny enough, they are just as much of a slave to the matrix as you and I are. So what do I mean by that? What does that actually equate to? Well, you got to understand there's different matrices in the overall matrix. And the most important matrix, or the overarching matrix, is the one up here, the one in your mind. And the external matrix, this is the internal matrix, the external matrix uses certain things to hack into this. When you hack into this, you're controlled. You get to be pulled in whatever direction that they send you over onto. They get to pull you towards whatever their agenda is. But if a true masculine man who's really out of the matrix transcends his mind above that, they're unfazed by it. They're truly unfazed by it. No amount of programming can ever get into their psyche because they've gone through the ups and downs. They've gone through the process of reprogramming their own mind to work as an ally rather than an enemy. Use their own psychology, use their own brain as assistance, as a way to leverage their internal skills to their advantage rather than to their demise. And this is what these alpha male guys all get fucked up, all get twisted. They think that if you just kind of conquer the external matrix, you won't be a slave to the system anymore. When in reality, they've conquered some part of the external matrix, maybe the money side, maybe the financial side, maybe the freedom side, but their mind is still so programmed to be a consumer, so programmed to be in a state of carnality, that their senses, those external kind of vices that triggers their eyes, their taste, their touch, their hearing, and then trigger certain things in their mind to act and behave in certain ways. They're still slaves, they're still NPCs. And this is what you need to realize, man, especially as a young man who's kind of like watching all these people and thinking that, oh man, if I listen to them, I listen to this guy, Andrew Tate, blah, 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 I'll get out of the matrix. I'll become rich, I'll be this. You might get rich, you might quote unquote get out of that part of the matrix. But if you're not truly mastering your own mind, your own body, and awakening your own soul, you're still an NPC, you're still a slave to your senses. You're still a slave to the external world, and society, the matrix, knows that. They know that if they hack up in here, it's game over. So that's why they put certain things out in front of you. So they grab you because they understand you're vulnerable. Your senses are vulnerable. If they can grab your attention, your focus, and your energy by seducing your senses, guess what? They got control of your mind. And when they got control of your mind, they can, one, disconnect your overall connection to the source, disconnect your unification to the higher self, and then control the body. Wherever the mind goes, the body will follow. Yet wherever the spirit tells the mind will actually start to follow that. The spiritual, I've always talked about this, spiritual is the highest level of reality, the highest plane of existence. If you tap into the source, guess what? The mind will follow. Guess what? When you tap into the mind and you control it, the body will follow. And it just becomes a positive feedback loop. But they're cutting off the connection to the higher source and then plugging in the types of programmings in order for you to fall into their agenda, even if you have all the money, even if you have all the freedom. Funny enough, all these types of guys get stuck into other types of addictions, sexual addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions, spending addictions, because their senses are controlling them. Actually, the Matrix is triggering certain things in their senses to control their mind. This is the real Matrix, bro. This is what self-mastery is about. Mastering the mind, mastering the body, and awakening the soul. That's how you truly get out of the Matrix. That's how you truly become a masculine man. A divine masculine man, not a fucking alpha male. A red pill this, a high value that. Fuck all that shit, dude. You're here for something bigger and better. You're here to become a divine vessel for God. You're here to become something that actually helps awaken the consciousness of humanity to get out of this state of being a slave to their senses, being a slave to the Matrix, being an NPC with no direction in life. You might think that you got a direction of, oh, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get this, blah, blah, blah. Those are all materialistic things that are temporary. They're illusions. I'm not saying don't go for them. I'm not saying don't have a nice car, have a luxurious life. I would want that for all of my supporters. But if you make that the end goal, guess what? You get trapped in the cycle of consumerism and carnality, which once again just keeps feeding back this whole agenda of what the Matrix wants you to do, to dim your light, to degenerate your abilities, to make you less of what you truly can be, to deplete your spiritual vigor, to drain you of your innate essence as a man. And funny enough, all these guys, they think that they're going against the Matrix. They're just kind of pawns in the machine. They're just cogs in the machine. They're just pawns on the chessboard, being used by the agenda, if you want to call it that, to push consumerism, to push materialism, to push something that's going to get you further and further away from the actual source of bliss that you've always been looking for, that your soul yearns for. You think that, oh man, if I follow this guy, if I follow that guy, I'll get out of the Matrix. But funny enough, they're just kind of distracting you. Oh man, don't go to this Matrix. Follow this one. Follow the consumerism one. Follow the egotistical one. Crazy, huh? It's crazy. You gotta be on guard. You gotta be on your toes, man. And in my opinion, the only way that you can truly be unfazed from all these types of things and follow your own dharma or your own spiritual duty or your own path in life is through spiritual knowledge, is through spiritual wisdom, is through learning things like psychology, is through learning all these types of inner details of your vessel, your body, your mind, as well as the science of the soul, to be able to master the self. Those are the three aspects of the self, the mind, body, and soul. This is what we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, on my brand in general, how to master it. Because as a man, you got to understand, you can't control the external world. You can't control half the types of things in your life. The only thing you can control is those three arenas, those three planes of existence. So why are you focused so much on the external when all the rewards, all the benefits come from the internal? You focus more on the internal, you put more energy and attention towards the internal, guess what? Your external starts to expand and follow along with it. As above, so below, as the Hermetics say. This is natural laws of the universe. This is what the mystics, this is what these sages, this is what the saints, this is what the greatest innovators, the biggest geniuses in the world understood. that the external world is merely just a reflection of your internal world. Your perspective paints the picture of your reality. Let me say that again. Your perspective paints the picture of your reality. Yet if you allow other people to take the paintbrush and say you got to follow this method to draw this type of painting, you fall into their matrix. And guess what? You don't follow your own spiritual dharmic duty. You don't follow your own individual path that God, the universe, the supreme source, whatever you want to call it, brought you here to accomplish. Only a man who's truly on the path of self-mastery, who can look beyond these external vices, beyond the external pleasures, and focus internally. Redirect all the energy he puts out towards the cars, the clothes, the hoes, the Matrix, Andrew Tate, this guy, blah, 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 red pill, nah. The more you take that energy and divert it back towards yourself, the more you start to elevate and evolve on all planes of existence, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And the more you evolve, the more you start to master, the more you start to learn about the self and become self-realized and understand who you are, and most importantly, what you are on a deeper level. Because this body is just a physical avatar for the time being. It's just a costume you have for the time being. The mind is a tool to help steer this around. But the soul, the spirit, that's what's truly going to guide you towards your highest potential in life and truly get you out of the matrix. I've talked about this before on this channel, on the main channel, plenty of times, but essentially, the mind acts as a steering wheel of a car. The body acts as a vehicle itself, the car. The soul or the spirit is the one who's driving it. Yet, the matrix, the agendas, the programming have hijacked that position in the car. They're the one driving it now. They've kicked the soul out on some GTA shit. Kicked it out, stole the car, and I'm taking it wherever I want. And you might be thinking, oh man, now that I'm following these types of people, these alpha males, I'm out of the matrix and I'm back in control. No, you've just fell into another person taking the car and driving around wherever it wants to go to. Your senses are still dictating your actions. You might have a little bit more money now. You might have a little bit more freedom now, but you're still a slave to the senses. You're still a slave to the programming in your own mind that you didn't even choose. This is why it's so important, if you're truly serious about self-mastery, not just self-improvement, but self-mastery, the ultimate path, you have to really dial in on this mindset and understand that all the answers that you need, that you specifically need, not me, not the other guy, not that guy, you are residing within yourself. I'm just trying to give you guys some of the tools, some of the pieces of wisdom from the ancients, from the esoteric, from the occult, all that stuff that we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. If you want more access to exclusive content, in-depth content that ain't going to be on YouTube, on this channel, on the main channel, but it's only for the private Patreon community, along with full guides, in-depth occult lectures, and 2 monthly masterminds. Yes, sir, 2 monthly masterminds. We hop on a live call with me and the group of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery and discuss all these topics in depth and in detail, ask questions, get guidance, and all that good stuff. Check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video, because in there you'll also be able to find things like application forms for one-on-one coaching, a booking call to do one-on-one consultation calls, and all that good stuff, man. Free Discord server, weekly newsletters, all that stuff is posted in the pinned comment of this video, man. For the guys out there who are truly serious about taking their life to the next level on all domains of this existence, on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes. Being around a community of like-minded men is so beneficial. That's why you got to understand that the people that you might be around are still stuck in that matrix within the matrix. Oh man, if I do this, if I do that, then I'll be out of the matrix. If I follow this guy, if I follow that guy, then I'll be out of the matrix, blah, blah, blah. They're still stuck in that. You got to elevate beyond that. So you got to change your environment. Your environment has such a big impact on you. I'll be making a video on that later on down the line, but that just gives you more opportunities and more understanding that other people are also on this path. Other people are also seeing what you're seeing. You're not going crazy. You're not an outcast. You're not just frying out. You're actually seeing past the veil. You're seeing past the illusions, and you're going further and further closer to the truth. My content, my channel, all that stuff is trying to help you, give you the tools to continue digging deeper, continue to find the answers that all reside within. Because within you, there is some connection to a higher source, to God, to the universe, to this, whatever you want to label it as, that has all the answers, that acts as a GPS system on where you need to go in life, how you need to go about it, and what it really takes to get you out of the matrix. Because your path out of the matrix is different from mine. My path out of the matrix is different than yours. Yet they all lead to the same kind of mountaintop. We're going on different paths, different roads, different routes, but we're still getting up to the same end destination, which is self-mastery, which is self-realization, but the path is self-mastery. Self-mastery is needed in order to be self-realized, and that's what really kind of breaks you out of the matrix, the internal matrix. No one can control you now. Your senses are not kind of dictating your actions anymore in life. None of these external pleasures can be that enticing you to the point where you lose focus and you lose your rationality. As a man, that's so key, that's so important. If you're asking me, that is the embodiment of what a true man is. A lot of people talk about what's masculinity, what's this, what's that. I'll be making a video on this channel of what my thoughts are on the divine masculine, not just, oh man, a masculine man is supposed to provide for his family, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, that's fine. We've heard that billions of times, but what does it mean on a deeper fucking level? What does a man mean? Someone who is fully in control of his vessel, who doesn't let the external world throw him so off course. This is what the Stoics really embodied and what we're really relaying within their messages, within their philosophies. The Greek Stoic philosophers. They understood that. The greatest mystics understood that. It's all about transcending beyond your lower level desires and your lower level natures, because that's easy to manipulate. All these alpha males still haven't figured it out yet, because guess what? They don't have any spiritual wisdom in their life. And this is why I've talked about so much on this channel, how self-improvement, all these types of things are missing a link. This is why all these people are kind of falling off right now that you see. They're missing a crucial link to their development, towards their inner development. They might have had the meditation, the daily schedule, the productive habits, they're going to the gym, blah, 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 good diet, but they're still missing the deeper aspects. They're going wider, but not going deeper, which causes for philosophy, spirituality, understanding these esoteric ideals, the nature of the universe, the nature of self, the science of the soul. You got to understand these things if you truly want to tap into your highest potential. It's like, treat it like your body. If you want to have the best physique possible, you're just going to train chest and arms. You're missing a key element, your back, your legs. You're missing a key element, your soul, the spirit. Yes, your mind might be good. Yes, your body might be good, but where is the spirit? And funny enough, if you start improving on the spiritual aspect of things, the mental will raise along with it. The body will raise along with it. They all work in unity, man. This is the Holy Trinity, the mind, body, and soul. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, whatever you want to call it, man. This is what it's all about, the self. These kind of allegories and metaphors are all talking about you as an individual. Awakening the God, or awakening the spirit and soul and higher connection within you. That's what really means to break out of the matrix, to tap into your fullest potential, to truly be free on all planes of reality. Doesn't matter if you got $1 million, if some Instagram model that you scroll on or you see in the club can make you kind of just lose control and completely forget about your purpose and forget about what you truly stand for. All these guys talk about all these principles, these morals, yet they all drink. I'm not bashing on anyone. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I'm talking about the matter of the fact, the truth of the situation. They all drink. They all kind of partake in sexual degeneracy, sometimes to the point where it gets even disgustingly weird, where they're getting into younger women and all that stuff and kind of taking advantage of that. And people are still praising them. Young guys still praising them because guess what? Oh, they've been programmed to believe that this is what it means to be a real man. Just smoke a cigar and fucking have a fast car and this and that, and oh, I have a bunch of money, fuck you guys, blah blah blah, I box and shit. The fuck, man? I'm not saying smoking a cigar is bad, I'm not saying having a nice car is bad, I'm not saying boxing is bad, but that's your highest peak potential. That's what you got going for you. That's what I'm saying. You're missing out on the higher faculties and the higher realms and possibilities of life, because guess what? You're stuck in your 3 lower worlds I talk about so much. You focus about survival, you focus on sex, and you focus on status. That's all you care about. You don't understand there's something called love, true universal love. I'm not talking about romantic love, but true universal love residing within the heart. You don't understand that there's true creative expression where God is using you as an instrument to relay a message. I believe that every time I hop on, especially this channel, I have no notes in my mind. I just have a title that I kind of want to go with and a topic. And I sit down here for 30, 40 minutes sometimes, getting channeled messages to the point where I'm be able to relay information from a higher source to give you guys knowledge and wisdom on how you can continue elevating your life. God, the universe, I believe, is using me for this kind of situation, this lane or this role in the universe. Yours might be different. Yours might be through music. Yours might be through just artistic ways or some different type of career path. Maybe you're a doctor, something that's going to help humanity raise up its consciousness. You got to figure that out. You're not going to figure that out if your whole goal is to just have fuck you money and be able to drive a car, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Feed into your lower nature, your lower desires of sex, survival, and status. You're not going to be able to tap into true love. You're not going to be able to tap into creative expression, throat chakra, tap into true universal insights and intuitions, true universal bliss and spiritual ecstasy within the crown. You're just kind of depleting and lowering your standards for what life can truly offer. But you think, oh man, I've made it out of the matrix. Oh man, I've made it out of the rat race. Motherfucker, you just tapped yourself into another one. You've unplugged the cord and plugged it back into the other side of the room. Guess what? You're still stuck in that prison. You're still stuck in those 4 corners of the room. You're not truly free. You haven't fully got yourself out of that situation because your mind is still not fully under your control. Your senses are still pulling you in this direction, that direction, and you still have no ability to hone them in, to tame the senses, to tame your animalistic desires. You're still falling to these paths of degeneracy that's going to deplete and disconnect your soul to that spiritual connection, that spiritual euphoria, bliss that you can receive. Oh man, there's a bunch of bugs out here. Holy shit. But this is something that, man, hopefully this message gets out to those guys that are kind of praising and worshiping these guys out there as idols, as role models. Bro, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. God made you a specific, unique way, and he made your pathetic ass out of the one out of 400 trillion sperm that came out of your dad's nutsack. He decided to allow you to be born. Figure out your own path. Don't take this for granted, bro. Your next incarnation might be totally something different, man. Especially if you don't actually find out your spiritual dharma, duty, or mission, which is your one-way ticket back to heaven and out of this cycle of samsara. Don't be a fucking idiot, bro, and listen to this and that and blah and blah. And I'm not telling you to listen to me, man. I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm trying to tell you what to do, this and that. Even the people that are in my private Patreon community, even the people that I work with one-on-one, even the people that I do my one-on-one consultations with, I'm trying to kind of make it known that I'm not your mentor, your role model, etc., etc. I'm not. I'm never going to be. I'm somebody that's maybe a little couple steps ahead of you in certain arenas of life and relaying and giving you some of the information I wish I got sooner to help me out of the situation I was in. I understand your current state and I understand what it takes to get out of that. So why not just take these tools, implement them into your life, and bypass all the ups and downs, the struggles, the pitfalls, the obstacles. This streamlines your path to success within that arena, within that realm. Then guess what? When you keep evolving, elevating yourself, and you get closer and closer to your spiritual senses, awakening, all these types of things that we talk about, you figure out the answers that reside within. I can't figure out the answers for you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can give you the tools. I can give you the information on how to get to these states of consciousness and just get closer and closer to that side of you that already knows all the answers, that already knows what's your path in life, that already knows your purpose, that already knows why it was brought here. But I can't make you do that. You got to put in the work, you got to put in the effort. If you truly want to break out of the matrix, it's a lot of inner work. The inner work will result out in the external work. Everything starts here, bro. Everything starts within. Once you focus that energy and attention and divert it back towards yourself rather than letting it just spill out everywhere, the more you're able to actually grow on all domains in life, man. When you elevate mentally, when you elevate spiritually, when you elevate physically, you elevate financially, you elevate entrepreneurially, you elevate socially, you elevate in all those other areas. This is the foundation. Those other things are like the icings on top of the cake. Build the cake fucking first, bro. Build yourself first. All the other things in the external world will follow along with that. If you don't have a proper foundation, whenever something gets shaky, guess what? All the other things are going to crumble. That's the self. The self, a true man, can withstand the tests from the universe, can withstand the obstacles in its way, can withstand all the turbulence in life. Because guess what? He's mastered the mind, body, and he's awakened his soul. That's what it really means to break out of the matrix, bro. That's what it really means. Yes, you might be living in PC mode right now, but man, the more you kind of detach from these concepts and these ideas from these guys trying to filter you into their own NPCs, the more willing and the more prepared you will be for when God calls you to truly detach yourself from this kind of cycle of consumerism, carnality, and overall disconnection from your true source, your true essence. All these types of things are just going to be there, man. They're going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. More intense, more can grab more of your attention. You got to truly understand not only who's truly giving out a proper message to help you elevate in life, but also what's the end goal of what's their agenda. What is it really leading you towards? Out of the matrix or into another matrix? Because all these guys are still in the matrix. They still let their senses turn them into slaves. I don't want to live like that. I don't think any man wants to live like that. But guess what? They didn't do the inner work. They might have got the money. They might have got the hoes. They might have got the cars. They might have got the clothes. It still doesn't equate to the true inner work of self-mastery. And guess what? That's why they don't actually truly understand what they're brought here for. They're not self-realized to the point of understanding their spiritual duty, which is a shame, because imagine you have that much power, imagine you have that much influence, imagine you have that much just overall impact you can put into this world on an intense level, on a very elevated level, yet you kind of abuse it for your own self-gratification because the senses are taking control of you, because you got a little horny, because you want to drink, because you want to do this, because you want to do that. Not even you, the animalistic side of you, your lower nature. Your lower nature is chokeholding you to the point it makes you tap out, and that motherfucker ragdolls you and drags you around wherever it wants in life. And society, the matrix, the agenda of this degenerate world is built and designed to do that to you, to give you these types of triggers that make your senses essentially attack your mind and put it under its control. If you don't have the cognitive ability to transcend above your animalistic desires, your animalistic nature, you're never going to be free. You're never going to be truly out of the matrix. But a man who has transcended above that, who has mastered the mind and the body, who's awakened the soul, the spirit allows him to see past these things, to see past the veil, to see past illusion, to see what this type of, these distractions, what they will lead him to. And that gives him the power of discernment, the power to understand what is truly congruent with my path in life. With a person who doesn't know their path in life, who's directionless, which I would say 95% of men are in today's day and age, maybe even 99% of men are in this day and age, a true path, not, oh, my parents told me to go to school, oh, this guy told me to become an entrepreneur, oh, this YouTuber told me to do this. That's not your real direction. But a true direction comes from within, from that inner understanding of, okay, what is my spiritual mission in life? What is this actual journey I was brought here to accomplish? Once you understand that, that's your true path. But 95% to 99% of men don't have that. Guess what? Somebody will tell that for you. And when that happens, you don't have an aim. You don't have a definite purpose in life. You don't have a definite direction in life. So it's easy to manipulate you. You're going to go from this person to that person, to this agenda, to this goal, to that goal. You're a slave to other people's agendas because you're a slave to your senses. That's not a way to live as a man. That's not a way an alpha man would live his life. You came here to awaken the divine part of you and become the divine man. Transcend beyond this shit, man. Transcend beyond the lower nature and don't give a fuck about what all these alpha males are telling you how to live your life. Take the tools, take the spiritual wisdom, take the psychological understanding of how to go within, to dig deep and uncover the layers just like an onion to get to your core. And that's where you'll find the answers. That's where God will speak to you. That's where you'll finally be able to turn on that GPS, that divine GPS, that spiritual GPS to help you navigate this game of life, to help you get those senses of intuition, to help you get those universal insights from a higher source on helping you just overall traverse this journey that you're brought here to do. That's all it takes to truly get out of the matrix. It's simple, but it ain't easy. But there it is, man. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out of here. Peace.